If you're looking for a property in France, which property portals should you be looking at in 2024? Yes, winter has arrived, and it's that season for sitting down in front of a log fire with a hot chocolate and your laptop looking at French properties and dreaming the dream. I did a video last year about the property portals, but since then there's been quite a bit of changes and things going on with them, so I thought it's time for an update. As always, if you don't speak French, you'll no doubt want to concentrate on the English portals, so that sounds like a good place to start. The top portal in the UK is Rightmove, everyone knows that, but do you know it's also a very good portal for foreign properties, including France. A lot of the French-based agencies that deal regularly with English clients will advertise on Rightmove, so that's a good place to start. The second most popular portal in the UK is Zoopla. But they seem to have made an unusual decision and, in my opinion, shot themselves in the foot by taking away all the links to the foreign properties. So when you go on the home page, there's no links to foreign properties. They're still there, they're still in the database. You can do Google searches for them and you will find them. But you can't actually go searching from the actual website itself. So, well, that's a bit of a downer, let's say. Thank God there are a few more specialised English websites. A very popular one is FrenchProperty.com. I'll be putting links down in the description here to these different websites. FrenchProperty.com is a long-standing property portal run by a family. It's a bit dated in its design, but there's a lot of property on there, and it also has a lot of information pages with good information about French real estate. Then there is French Property Centre, another long-standing property portal. Plenty of property on there as well, but that one definitely does need updating at some point. I think it's been the same website for the last 20 years as far as I can tell. Another long-standing one is French Property Shop. These days it's run by French Entry, used to be run by Archant, but this is the same group that actually publishes French Property News and France Magazine. It also organises the January show in London. Oh, by the way, I'll be at the January show in London. And so come and see us and have a chat. I'll put a link at the top there for free tickets for you. Then let's say two up and coming websites. Well, the first one isn't really up and coming, it's been up there for quite a while, but it's changed. It's basically a place in the sun, the website for that very well known TV programme. The reason I put it as up and coming as such is because for many years it was orientated towards the Spanish market, probably about 70% of the actual website. Now you're finding more and more French property on there as well, so well worth a look. The second up and coming one I'm going to mention is a website called Kerio, which is spelled Kyero. Don't ask me what it stands for or means, I have no idea. All I know though is actually it was a website which was set up in Spain for the Spanish market, but has actually opened up to the French market and possibly some other countries as well, I don't know. But certainly lots of good properties on that website there as well. So that's an initial choice of English speaking websites, let's say. If you're lucky enough to speak French, then you can go and look at the French websites, and obviously this will give you a lot more choice of properties because obviously the French agents prioritise advertising in French, especially as most of them don't speak English. I'm going to start this one with the website greenacres.com, purely and simply because a lot of people tend to think it is an English website, and well, in fact no, it's not. It's about as French can get. The fact that you can use it in multiple languages is just the detail. It is actually very much a French company. The thing is, a lot of agencies are actually abandoning Green Acres, not so much because it's overpriced, although it is quite expensive, but mainly because of their price system. For the French agents, we have to actually guess the amount of clicks we're going to have in the coming month and actually buy that amount of clicks. Once we run out of clicks, all our properties are taken down. So let's say we get to the third week of the month, we've been really popular, all our clicks have gone, well, boom, we're no longer on the website. Another weird thing they do as well is actually if a particular property is very popular, they will also fade it out of the website because that way it gives more of a chance for the other ones to be seen. Well, that's what they say anyhow. Anyhow, all this gets very confusing for us as agents, for buyers, but also for the vendors who are often ringing up the agencies saying, how come my property is no longer on Green Acres? So So unfortunately, a lot of agents are abandoning them. After that, we move on to the self-proclaimed leader of the French property portals, a website called Salog. Salog, well, I'm not a fan. A lot of agencies are actually trying to boycott it, to be honest. Running business over here, they have a interior politics and a pricing system which is really getting a lot of agencies backs up. They just keep on putting their prices up, well, not every day, but it feels like it. And what's more, they don't negotiate, they just inform you prices have gone up. It is by far the most expensive portal for French agents to advertise, and due to the fact they don't respect the contracts and just put prices up as they want, a lot of agencies are moving away from it. So basically, yes, it's there at the moment, but I wouldn't go there. The second biggest property portal in France isn't a property portal. It's a general sales portal called Le Bon Coin, where you can sell pretty well anything, whether it be a house, a second-hand car, down to an antique bottle you found in your garden. But anyhow, still very popular with the actual vendors. It has, like many French portals, got very expensive for the agents, so certain agents are moving away from it, but it's free for the private vendors, which, yeehaw, tickety-boo, I hear you say. But the thing is, you get a lot of private vendors putting their property on the Bon Coin because they're actually unsatisfied with their local agency because the local agency hasn't sold it. In general, over the last 2 years, if a house hasn't sold, it's because it's too expensive. So the owners get grumpy with the agent, take it off the agency, put it on the Bon Coin, usually at a raised price. Not all of them, but there's a fair amount there. So if you are using the Bon Coin, be very careful and do your due diligence about local prices. Then after that, there's two websites which aren't that well known, but I think they're well worth you visiting, especially if you speak French. But definitely if you speak French. The first one is the French website called Peruvondu, which is also a general sales website, but very good for houses, also very good for cars, but that's a detail. And due to its relatively low cost, even for professionals, a lot of agencies are advertising on there, so it means there's a lot of property up there. Good mix of private sales, agency sales, so well worth looking at. The second one to look out for, especially if you're buying in the western half of France, is a website called West de France, which means Western France, if you hadn't guessed. Once again, good, easy to use website, plenty of properties up there, and for a lot of agencies in Brittany and Normandy, for example, it is like the place to be. And last but far from least, because I think this is probably the best website for properties in France, is a website called Bien Ici. Yes, I mentioned it last year and it still is my favourite. It is definitely the place you want to be looking for properties. It's set up by the real estate trade unions. Almost all the agents are using it, so a good choice of properties there. One thing I liked on it as well, it's got an interactive map where you can actually move around on the map and it will show the properties where they are, or relative where they are, so to speak. And so you got a lot of information there. That would be my number one site to be looking at if you're looking for properties in France and you speak French. If you don't speak French, have a look at the list of the English ones I mentioned earlier. But if you are seriously thinking about moving to France, you need also to be thinking about transferring funds. And in that case, I'm going to invite you to actually click the old like, subscribe and bell buttons down here, because I'm bringing out a video in the very near future about the best ways to transfer funds for you. See you soon.